Third Sem AISE.
I, Pranish, third sem ISC. On behalf of Srinivas Institute of Technology, I welcome you all to be part of this event.
The world we build tomorrow is born in the prayers we say today. Now, I call Miss Pujari Aishwarya and Shravya Atkar for the invocation. Kindly rise.
फलदायकनीने विनायकं फलदायकनीने विनायकं नीफलदायक नीने विनायक नीफलदायक नीने विनायक फलदायक नीने विनायकं कार्यारम्भदि भजिसुवे निन्ननु कार्यारम्भदि भजिसुवे निन्ननु कार्यसिद्धिपुदे मगे विनायकं कार्यसिद्धिपुदे मगे विनायक फलदायक नीने विनायक फलदायक नीने विनायक.
Please be seated. Thank you for adding auspicious delight of a spiritual glow to the program. I request Ms. Pujari Aishwarya, third sem ISC, to welcome the gathering.
A very good morning to you all. The joyful heart sees and reads the world with the sense of freedom and graciousness. It's my pleasure to welcome the chief guest of today's function, Mr. Harish Nirmarga, founder and CEO, Ecolate Tech Solution, Mangaluru. On this occasion, we welcome you, sir. On his absentia, it's my pleasure to welcome the president of today's function, our beloved principal, Dr. Srinivasa Mayadi. On this occasion, we welcome you, sir. On his absentia, pleasant welcome to Dr. Ramakrishna N. Hegde, convener IIC and head of the department, Aeronautical Engineering. A delightful welcome to you, sir. I extend my most cordial welcome to Professor Sudarshan K, Head of the Department, ISE. Welcome you, sir. I would also welcome HODs of all departments, teaching and non-teaching staffs, technical and non-technical staffs, advertising cell of SIT, and my dear friends who have joined us here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Aishwarya. I now request Professor Sudarshan K, Head of the Department, IS, to florally welcome the chief guest of today's function, Mr. Harish Nirmarga, founder and CEO, Ecolate Tech Solutions, Mangaluru.
I now request Ms. Grishma K. of third sem ISC to florally welcome Mr. Professor Sudarshan K. Head of Department Information Science and Engineering.
Today, we have with us Mr. Harish Nirmarga, founder and CEO, Ecolate Tech Solutions, Mangaluru. I now call upon B. Shashank Rao, third sem ISC, to give a brief introduction about the chief guest.
We are indeed privileged to have with us Mr. Harish Nirmarga as chief guest of today's function. His professional achievements are numerous. He completed Master of Computer Applications in Manipal Institute of Technology, 12 years of experience in the IT industry, launched strategic management and business planning firm, worked on most stages of the software development life cycle and have essayed roles including management, marketing, analysis during requirements gathering, prioritizing tasks, design, on-site coordination, coding implementation and support. He is a founder of and CEO of Accolade Tech Solutions Mangalore, effectively managed team of over 150 plus employees in 2 locations. Member of Indian Red Cross Society, Dakshina Kannada District, member of Canara Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Joint Secretary of Akhila Bharata Tulu Okkuta, conducted more than 60 plus technical talks within Dakshina Kannada District colleges, conducted more than 25 plus hands-on workshops and UG and PG computer science students. We extend a hearty welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, Shashank.
I request President of today's program, Professor Sudarshan K, to hand over the memento as token of respect to our today's chief guest, Mr. Harish Nirmaga. Thank you, sir.
Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Now would I request Rashmi KP, 3rd SEM IAC, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, one and all gathered here. As we conclude this event, I could like to thank the chief guest of today's function, Mr. Harish Nirmarga, founder and CEO of Accolade Tech Solution Mangalore, for gracing this occasion despite his busy schedule. I thank you, sir. I could like to thank President of today's function, Dr. Srinivas Mayadi, Principal Srinivas Institute of Technology, Mangalore, for inspiring us to the work hard and serving us as a pillar of the strength. On his absentia, I could like to thank Dr. Ramkrishna N. Hegde, convener IISE and head of the department, Aeronautical Engineering. I would like to thank Professor Sudarshan K, head of the department, ISE, for his constant support and guidance throughout this event. Thank you, sir. I thank the heads and professors of all the department for their gracious presence on this event. I would like to extend my gratitude to teaching and non-teaching faculties, technical and non-technical staff. I also thank my friends for cooperating in making this function as success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
I request Mr. Sudarshan K, Head of the Department, Information Science and Engineering, to escort the dignitaries of the dais. Kindly rise. I request students to stay back for the talk on Inspire to Aspire, a successful entrepreneur's Odessy by today's chief guest. I request chief guest of today's program, Mr. Harish Nirmaga, founder and CEO, Accolade Tech Solutions, Mangalore, to enlighten us.
So good morning everyone. Okay, so today's my topic is entrepreneurship and startups. Okay, so before I start with this entrepreneurship and the startups, I want to discuss about the market, today's marketplace, like how is the market today, like the software market. So almost everyone knows that from the past 2-3 years, we are facing the recession. You know that, right? The software is like, software, like, the departments, the IT industry is facing the recessions. But if you see the last year, the financial year, the combined software profits of the STPI, that is the Software Technology Parks of India, and a Special Economic Zone, the SEZ, the combined the software profits in the Karnataka region itself in the year 2022-23 is 4 lakh crores. That means the IT industry is recovering slowly. The KDM, the Karnataka Digital Economic Mission, has signed the letter of intents, the 22 letter of intents with the companies of Saudi Arabia. These companies of the Saudi Arabias are interested to invest in Mangalore cluster. And also the KDM has staged a roadshow on September 7th regarding this. The main aim of this roadshow is to showcase the potential of the Mangalore cluster and to inform them, like, the potential of, the Mangalore clusters. Mangalore is a next innovation hub. Other than the Mangalore has to be the next innovation hub. The CII, the Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, has a meeting actually, in the recent meeting. In the recent meetings, what they have done is they have focused on few key areas. That is, one is the digitalization, one is MSMEs, one is brand buildings, then one more is the startups and ecosystems. So all these areas they have focused just to improve the southern state economic growth. Just for this. And why I am telling you this, because when these people, they invest on the new companies or the new startups will come or the existing company will expand, at that time new job opportunities will open for you, isn't it? So when the new job opportunities open, at that time you have the options to apply for job. And this is a career actually. And these companies are looking for the skilled IT professionals. Now, what are these skilled IT professionals? Skilled IT professionals in the sense, you need to know the basics of, the particular, you should be experienced in the particular domain. That's what I can say, the experienced in particular domain. Example, the machine learning, artificial intelligence, or the Flutter mobile application development, or like, the recent one, the full stack development. Okay. So these are the things which you have to be ready. Like, suppose if you are working under some companies. Okay. Now one more option which you have is the starting your own company. That is called being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur. Okay. So how you can be an entrepreneur and how you can, start a new company. So we'll see. Okay, now, who is an entrepreneur now? An entrepreneur starts and runs a business. And an individual who undertakes the risk associated with creating, organizing and owning a business. So the entrepreneur means he will start a business, any business it is. It is not that you have to start the software industry business. Not only that, you can start any business. Any business is fine. But since you are related to the computer science or the information science department or artificial intelligence department, so we'll discuss more on the software industries. I think so that will be understood easily. Okay, so related to that, then entrepreneurs are often driven by a desire to create something new and innovative, and they often have a clear business vision and goals. For these things, any entrepreneur, you need to have a clear-cut business idea. Clear-cut business idea. So based on that business idea, you need to plan, what kind of business you will start. and what type of startup it is, because there are different types of startups. Okay. Next, what is a startups? A startup is a new and emerging business typically in the early stage of operations. In the sense, it is not the existing business. The startup in the sense you are creating a new business now. A new business or new venture will be started and the new registrations will be created for that. Either it can be the proprietorship, either it can be a partnership, either it can be private limited or it can be a public limited. So these are the different categories which we have. The proprietorship in the sense, the single owner. Single owner. Example, suppose if there is a grocery shop owner, he has a single owner. Or a small supermarket, even that is a single owner business. That is called a single proprietorship. Then one more will be there, that's called a partnership firm. It is little bigger than that. Partnership, either two people or more than two people, they will set a business. Any enterprises or even the restaurant business, anything in a partnership. So the profit and loss that will be shared by equally. These things. Then one more is a private limited. The private limited in the sense, they will be the directors. One is a managing director and others are called the directors, the board of directors. So that is called a private limited. Okay. Then one more thing is a public limited. Public limited in the sense, you will be having the shares of that. So the company has a share. So each share has a face value. So example, one share has 100 rupees. So that is been purchased in a bulk by the public. So public is involved in that. The public money is involved in that. In the private limited, only the directors or the investors, what we say. So those people will invest on the particular, the companies. And startups are characterized by rapid growth and scalability, and they often rely on funding from the investor grants or other source. Startups often try to disrupt established markets or create new ones, and as a result, they can be high risk ventures. This is the example of, like you might have seen the Instagram and the WhatsApp. So earlier, what are the business was there, existing business, that has disrupted, and the new application, when it comes to the picture, it may destroy the old business. The old business who is running, it may create some problem to them. Because see, when the ChatGPT has, launched, it has created a lots of rumors saying that there is lots of people will lose the business. Lots of people will lose the business, and for the documentation purpose, so many people, they have relied on that. Instead of creating their own documentation, if you type some, the queries, all the documentation used to receive, and the same thing was copy pasted. So, and at that time, what happens is the plagiarism problems have started in that. Okay. So these kind of risk ventures are there in that. Now, there are different types of startups. So there are different types of startups. One is the scalable startups. In this scalable startups, you can scale the business to the end point. Example, it may start from 1 crore to the 1,000 crores. It depends upon the investors. So suppose if you want to start a business, if you want to create an application like a Twitter, it takes time. Or if you want to create a business like a Zomato or the Swiggy or Ola or Uber, it takes time, because the profit is not returned immediately. Understand that. See, there is one more type of business where we call it as a service-oriented business. There are two things. One is service and a product-oriented. Okay. The service-oriented in the sense, you already have a client, you meet a client, and you get the requirement from the client. Okay, get the requirement from the client, and you will quote a quotation. Example, you will say this is a 10 lakh. 10 lakh is a quotation for this, this work. So initially, you will receive 30% or 50% of amount, 3 lakh or a 5 lakh amount, and you will start the business. There is risk is less, because already you have received few amount, the advanced amount, and you are starting the business, and after that you are continuing that. You understood? So this is with the less, the less risk. But this kind of business, like the Zomato or the Ola or the Uber, you can't predict the the customers and you can't predict the users, how they will respond to your application. So what you have to do is you need to have the investors. Because you need to set up a company, you need to pay the bills of the rent, the maintenance, and all the employees' salaries. And you don't know, it may take 2 years, it may take 4 years or 5 years to start the first profit share. Okay, so because you are just spreading your business now, you are spreading your business. So it has to spread across the maybe within the state or within a country or all over the world. It depends actually. So usually what people do is whenever they start a business, they'll start from the smaller region. Maybe they'll target for only within a city or a state, then they will expand slowly. That is one more kind of a business. Okay, so once you start such business, that is called a scalable startups. Then second one is a small business startups. Small business in the sense, the proprietorship kind of thing. Example, you start with one small business, like the restaurant, or the small as a grocery shop. So this kind of a small business, and here the risk is very less. Risk is very less. In the first one, in the scalable, the risk is very high, but even the profit is also high. If that business gets clicked, the profit is high. And there, see, one more thing is there. So when we talk about the investors, there are so many investors will invest in the business. Okay. Now there is a question whether you have to return the money. Example, if one investor has invested 1 crore in your business, 1 crore. Now how do you return the money? There are two kind of types of investors where you do the agreement with them. Example, the one investor, you will tell them, so you invest in my business 1 crore rupees. So what I'll do is I will return every year the 10% of that. 10% of that is an agreement. That means I have to pay him the 1 crore I have to return in of a certain time, but also I have to pay the 10 lakhs every year. 10 lakhs I have to pay. This is a debt for the particular company. And one more investors, like what agreement you can do is he has to invest on his own risk. This is like the stock market, the shares which you purchase, right? The same kind of thing. He is investing here on his own risk. So in case if the company grows, it's fine. If the company doesn't do good, then the money is been lost. That is in the first one. So in the small business, that option is not there. So because only one person, he is investing the money, maybe he will take a small bank loan, or like he will lend a loan from someone, but if he has his own capital, he will invest that. Okay, so that is called small business. Then one more is about the lifestyle startups. Lifestyle startups in the sense, it depends upon your passion. Suppose if you are a dancer, that is your passion, and you start your own business, like you teach this dancing to someone else. Suppose if you are good at the mathematics, okay, I like the 10th mathematics or the 12th mathematics, you are very good at that, and you give the tuition at home. Even that is one of the lifestyle startups. So means which you are interested with. That is your passion actually. There's a passion, and you make that is itself as a business. Few people are very good at talking the events, organizing the events and all, and they're very good at MCs. So even what they do, they go for the events and they participate in different kind of events, and they get paid. So those kind of business is called a lifestyle startups. Now the Indian startup ecosystem in India. 2022, India had 90 unicorn startups, and in 2023, India has 108 unicorn startups. This is the market right now. So what is a unicorn startups? Unicorn startups in the sense, the startup which starts with a $1 billion, that means 100 crores. The startup which has invested, there are investors, and the startup has started from the 100 crores. So such business, 108 startups, 108 companies are there in India right now in 2023. Okay, so right now I want to ask with any of you, like, anyone is planning to start any business and to be an entrepreneur? Here. Before I continue this, I just want to ask you, anyone here who is planning to start any of a business? Or right now you are involved in any of the business? Or the lifestyle or the small scale business, that is also fine. Or working as a freelancer or something like that? No one? No one? Okay. Then we'll continue with this. So now, how do you start up? How do you start up startup work? How do you start a business? Okay. So first thing is idea generation and the validation. In the sense, first you need to have the idea. Without the idea, you can't start a business. So I am more concentrating on the software development parts right here. Okay, the software development part. So when you want to start a IT industry, IT company at that time, you need to have a clear cut some product or some idea, some plan has to be there. If you don't have the product, that can be a service oriented business. As I explained you, service oriented in the sense you go to the client and you develop the website, mobile applications to them. So these kind of a service oriented. Then one more thing is product oriented. What usually the company does is, even we have started with the service oriented company. Okay. So what I did is, in between I'll just explain how did I start my company. So in the year 2008, when after completing my the graduation, for 1 year I started working for one company. Okay, I started working for one company. At that time, there were students who used to come for the the internship at that time. There were very less companies where they used to provide the internship at that time. So that was the one company who used to provide the internship. So what I used to do is, I used to teach those students there. I was developing the websites and I was developing the software. Simultaneously, I was teaching them. Okay. So continuously, without the leave, for 1 year, even on Sundays, I started working continuously. So that was a 1 year experience which I got in the basic level. Then what I did is, I went to MIT Manipal to pursue my masters there. Okay. So when I was pursuing my masters at that time, I was still I was working as a freelancer that time. So for 3 years I worked as a freelancer, and I had developed the software for I think so you have heard about the directory yellow pages earlier. The directory phones were there at every home, not the mobile. The phones were there, and at that time you had the directory books and with all the listings of the phones. So that software which I was designed in the year 2009 that time. For the yellow pages. First I started with the Mangalore, then Udupi. Since I was doing my masters in MIT Manipal, they provided me the free internet and free room in Udupi itself, from Udupi branch. So I was working for them. Then the Shivamogga and Kannur. So these 4 branches I was handling at that time. So in the 2011 I passed out. Okay, so when I was studying, I was doing still more freelancing projects. Then in the 2011, I was an intern for the Robosoft. Robosoft was near, it was in Udupi itself. So I was working for Robosoft. I was an intern at that time. So after internship in the 2011 itself, I founded my company. So initially starting with the company, I had the experience of talking to people. Main thing is what, it's not only the technical part. When you want to be an entrepreneur, you should know how to talk to the customers. If you have the product, how you should convince them. You may be the student of a computer science or information science, that's a different part, but you should also be a good marketing person. You should be a good marketing executive. That is a job role. Right now, my job role is that. Even I am from a technical background, but what we do is we go and we talk to the clients. We explain our product. we convince them like, see, this is our product, so you have to purchase this, and what is the benefit to them. These points we need to think about that. And always whenever we go to the client, we know that there are lots of cross questions will be asked by the client. So for that we have to be prepared. The cross questions, obviously first itself we have to think, like, 100 cross questions will be asked. Why is that? What happened? There are other products. Why can't I buy that product? That product is better than you. So these kind of questions we have to prepare ourselves, and we have to be ready with answers. So at that time we should not think at that moment, like, what to answer there. Okay, so this is the way, initial way, how did I set up my company. Okay, so now this is the idea generation and validation, where you need to have the ideas, and after that you need to have the business planning. Because once the business idea has been validated, the next step is to develop a business plan that outlines the key elements of the business, targeting the market. This is what I said. Once you idea is been clear, example, suppose if you want to develop a application like a Zomato with the new features, with some new features. So what you have to do is, you have to sit down, maybe like, with your the teammates. Suppose if you are developing like an application, I think so you will be having a teammates or the investors or something like that. You need to plan it. Initially, you need to plan and you need to sketch it. The outlines has to be sketched. Then after that you have to present it. Suppose if you need more investors, then you have to present that to the investor, and you have to convince them why you have to invest in our company. So this is the plan which you have to think about that. Okay. Now I'll give one task. Suppose if you all are using WhatsApp, right? Here, all are using WhatsApp. So in case if you are developing a similar application like a WhatsApp, what is the extra features you want to implement in that? Anyone? In the WhatsApp itself, there may be, while using the WhatsApp, you might have thought of, okay, so this is the feature which is not there in the WhatsApp. Because of that, I'm not comfortable with that. So that's why I'm using something else. So what kind of, the features which you want to implement? Or Insta? Or Instagram? Which is not existing right now. Quality of the? Okay, exactly. Quality of the status, the video status I mean, right? Video status is like, it's like poor. Even if you put a HD quality, the very poor quality, the video quality is being like, display. That is because, one reason is because to, reduce the internet bandwidth. The main thing is that, but that will affect actually. That's the thing. The quality has to be improved. The one very good answer. Then anyone else? Anyone else? With any other answer? Bigger file transfer, yes. There is one more thing called GB WhatsApp. I think so in that they have provided, but it is not there here. The biggest file transfer, like how to transfer the bigger files. So that is one more thing. Then anything else? Yes, tell me. Some answer. That's it? Okay. So see, when we think about the current product itself, so we got two defects. Okay, in the sense like, that is, these kind of things, you will find it in each and every product. Example, suppose if you go to the Zomato, Ola, Uber, they lack one or the other things. So what the entrepreneurs does is, so they will identify these kind of problems, and what they do is, they will create one more applications, or what they do is, they'll create something like plug-in kind of thing to the existing application, and they sell that. So that is the one more thing. You might have heard about the deep fake videos now, so many deep fake videos which is like, which is coming up, and the government is taking it very serious, right? So if you have planning for something like that, you can develop some application where you can identify the deep fake videos, or like, for the prevention of that. So suppose if you develop such application, what can be done is, you don't have to release that application in a different platform itself. You can create an APIs for that, and you can provide it as a service for the WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, and other social medias. Twitter, now which has been called as X right now. So all these platforms you can provide as a services. You understood that what is the services? The SMS services. You have heard about the SMS services. SMS services is an API. In a sense, when we develop an application, suppose if I want to send an OTP, SMS is one of the services which has been provided by the service provider. So what I have to do is, I have to call the APIs, then itself this SMS will be sent to the destination phone number. And even in this, there are national numbers, international numbers. For the international number, the pricing is different. For the national number, the pricing is different. So national numbers within India, it may be like within paises, 10 paise or 11 paise, something like that. But for the international numbers, it may cross like 1 rupee, 2 rupee, or 5 to 6 rupees for US, UK. So these kind of different services are there. So you can be a service provider for that. You understanding, right? So when you say entrepreneur, at that time, it need not be you like, you are creating the direct product and you sell the product as a different entity. It's not only that, you can be as a service provider for them. You can providing the services. Now if you have heard about the CC Avenue or the Razor Pay, anyone has heard about that? Razor Pay, CC Avenue, Stripe. Anyone who has heard about these names? What is that? What is that? Anyone? What is this? Razor Pay, CC Avenue, Stripe, Atom, payment gateways, online payment gateways. The online payment gateways also provide us services. Example, suppose if I have a website called, I will develop a website of an e-commerce. Now users has to do the payment to the admin or the client, to that person, these people have to do the payment. Now for that, what we have to do? We can't create our own, the payment gateways. So there are existing payment gateways. So the Razor Pay or the CC Avenues. So we have to take the service from them because they are associated with the banks. So they will take the KYCs, the documents, they will verify that, and they provide the APIs to us, and we are just supposed to call that APIs, and that through that APIs the payment is been the transaction is been, payment transaction is been made, and out of that these service provider will take few percentage of every transactions. Example, 2%. So from every 100 rupees, 2 rupees is for them. So when it goes to the the huge transaction, they are earning in crores. Okay, always whenever you think about starting up a business, you have to think about the profit. How you will succeed. Example, suppose whether you will sell the product everything for 10 lakh, 20 lakh, no, you need not be. You can sell a product of 10 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, multiply by lakhs people. That is a plan. Earlier, you had that, now also you have the shampoo, but when it started, the beginning, the Sunsilk shampoo for the 1 rupees and all, they used to earn in 100 crores at that moment, because for you it's 1 rupee. When you think about the large quantity, 10 crores people today, buying one such a shampoo, it becomes 10 crores per business in one day. You understood? So these kind of business strategies, which you have to create. Okay? Then resource acquisition. So in order to bring the business idea to the fruition, a startup will need to acquire the necessary resource such as funding, personnel and equipments. So now, once when you start the business now, so you already have the plan, and you have sketched this plan in the paper, and now we need the resources. Okay, we need one place to start a business. We need a place to start a business, and we need to have the resources like employees. And it is not compulsory that you need to have an employee in a business. Two things. Either you can have an employee for a business, or you need not to have any one employee. Still you can run a business. Depends. Okay, example, suppose if you are providing the training sessions all over India, so you will start a business. You are an individual now. You have an office in Mangalore and you have a registration license, everything is ready, and now you want to provide the service to everyone. Now you go to a different states and you start giving a talks, and that talk becomes popular, and now to expand that, and you can't reach each and every place, and it is very difficult. Now what you do is you can hire, like, the already some faculty from different from the colleges or from the different institution, and once they go and once they give a talk, after that you can pay this particular amount from that. So that is not a salary based. There is not a salary, there is not a fixed salaries. Whenever there is a talk, you pay this percentage of, like, payment. Example, suppose if you take 1 lakh out of that, 25,000 is for that particular person, the person who gives a talk, and the certificate will be provided from this company. So without any employee, you can run a business, and that is a particular kind of a business, not every business. Now, suppose if you have an e-commerce the company, and you need few people, obviously to run the business you need, isn't it? So and suppose if you start a software company, initially you can code it, but when it expands, you need people. You need the developers, you need the testing teams, you need the HR team, you need the front office. All these people are required. So in few cases it is required, few cases it is not required. Then the product or the service development. This I had already explained it. The product, you have the products. Product in the sense, I'm like, investing on one product and I'm selling the same product to everyone. Example, I have a hospital management system. I take 1 year to develop that application, maybe with a team of 15 to 20 people. Then I sell this to everyone. So later, once I develop the application, I need to have the proper marketing strategy. I need to have the proper marketing strategy, because once I develop the product which has cost me 1 crore rupees, example, if it cost 1 crore rupees, then I have to be very good at the marketing, and my sales team, or my marketing strategies should be good. Either there should be unique features which is not been implemented in the current hospital management system or something like that, or any other thing. So here comes the marketing and the sales strategies. Okay. Or also we have right now the digital marketing. Have anyone heard about the digital marketing? What is that? What is digital marketing? What is digital marketing? Anyone? What is digital marketing? Okay, online marketing. How do you do that, online marketing? Ads where? Yeah, ads in social media. That is one kind of a digital marketing. There are various actually. See, you have SEOs, search engine optimization, Google AdWords you have. So even that is a digital marketing itself. Means whenever whenever you type something in a Google related to your product, at that time immediately the sponsored ads should be displayed. That is the one more thing. SEOs, search engine optimization. Whenever you search in Google, your website should be in the first place or in the first page. Okay, the ranking, what we say, organic rankings will be there, so that has to be created. The one more thing is the social media marketing. Social media, we market in Instagram, the Facebook, or the LinkedIn. So here what we do is we market. How we do marketing? Either manual marketing or the automated marketing, in the sense the LinkedIn, or suppose Instagram, if we pay them, so we choose a particular place, city, or the particular area, or particular type, whether male or female, or particular age. So when the target audiences, which we say, we call it as a target audiences. So these are my target audiences, and it has to reach to them. So these kind of marketing strategies has to be done. Then operations and the growth. Once a startup has launched its product or service and has established a customer base, it will focus on running the day-to-day operation of the business and seeking out opportunities of the growth. So the operations, in the sense, this is called the maintenance phases. Okay. Suppose if you have the courier business, okay, you might have seen in all these, the places like the airports, Mangalore Airport, Bangalore Airport, any airports, DHL or the DART, these people have their own godowns. Okay, why? To perform the operations easier, because once all these things, the baggage or the luggages, when it arrives, they have to stock that, and after that they have to provide it to someone, transport it to someone else. So these kind of things, the productions, operations and the growth, that is very important. Okay, so till it reaches to the customers, and after that the maintenance, how do we provide the maintenance, the operations, how do you manage that? So that is very important in this phase. Now the overview. In India, we have the 60,000 software industries in India, 60,000 software companies in India. And the growth, Indian software exports reached to 320 billion US dollars. So that means Indian export business is doing very good. Okay. So now for this exports, see there are few things to be learned actually whenever you start a business. Now suppose if you have a customers within the state, within Karnataka state, so within the Karnataka state, at that time what happens, and your business is running in Karnataka, you have a registration office in Mangalore, is always free. Okay, so most of the people, what they do is they try to export the software to other countries. Why? Can you tell me why? Profit is more or less. How? 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 Why profit is more and why profit is high? Because I got some answer actually there. Someone told that answer. Because No, availability of the product is fine, then it's not like that. Which one? No, not the tax. Tax free is, yeah, obviously it is tax free because the billing is done in dollars. Billing is always done in dollars actually. Okay, so and suppose even Dubai, dirhams. So the value is always more at that time. So when we say, suppose here, if we sell it for a less price, always, when we export it, always the prices will be 10 times more sometimes. We earn more than that. Okay. So even if you reduce the prices there, still compared to the, the local market, the profit is always high. Profit is always high. So that's why most of the people, they are earning lots of money because of exporting. Exporting is a very, very huge business. So whenever you start a business or when you be an entrepreneur, you can think about this. Initially, you can start with from the local place or local, the market. Then later, you have to try to expand the business. Now, how does the factors entrepreneurs consider while launching a startup? This is, I already explained it, the business idea you need to have, which is unique in the market. That is the best thing. Because if you create one more application or one more software which is already existing, then I don't think it is very difficult to market. That's what I can say. It's not that you won't get customers, but it is difficult to market because already the previous players are there. Previous companies have already set the business. So always to stand unique, you need to have some unique features in the product. Then the market research. You have to do a proper market research. You have to understand the market. What does the market require? And after that, you have to continue with that. Then the funding. You need the investors. Angel investors or any investors or these investors are required. Then one more is a business plan. A business plan the outlining the goals, target market and the marketing and the sales strategies. And one more is a legal consideration. Entrepreneurs should ensure that their business is properly registered and that they have obtained all necessary license and permits. See here, when it comes to the legal consideration, you should always consult either company secretaries. Remember, company secretaries or and also you should consult CAs, because without them you can't plan it, because these are the people who can give the clear cut idea, because every time it changes, sometimes every year the plans get changed, startup, the concepts get changed. So at that time what you have to do is they will be updated with the latest trends. So that's why you should always contact these company secretaries. And the legal consideration in the sense, see, whenever you start a business, you need to have the license. You need to have a license. So who is providing this license now? Who is providing the license to a business? Government, in the sense, whom? Suppose if I want to start here in Srinivas Valachil, then who is providing? Here in Mangalore, not the college. Not the college. License for their company. Huh? Not principal. Not the DC. Who is providing? First you have to get to know whether this is a village area or this comes under the corporate. Under the city corporation, who under whom actually this place you will be there. This is a village, sir. Village. Suppose if it is a village, then you have to go to the panchayat. The panchayat will be providing you, issuing the license for the particular door number. Suppose if it comes under the city corporation, then the Mangalore City Corporation will provide you the license. So these are the people, because this is the basic things which you should know when you start when you are being an entrepreneur. Okay, when you start a business, you should know these things. So after getting this license, then itself you will be able to open the bank account. And what type of account it is? Anyone? Huh? What type of account it is? Yeah, business, what do you call for that? Current account, exactly. So normally you have a savings account, but when you start a business, you will be having the current account where you can do the more transactions, where you can do a more transaction than the savings. The transaction limit is more, and even your ATM limit may be more. So comparatively, there are lots of advantages in that. Also, the credit card also will be provided to that. Okay. So these are the few of the legal consideration which you have to take care. Then the location. Location is very important. Location, because it is your plan and you know what kind of business you are running. Suppose if it is not a software and if it is a hotel business which you are running, so you should think in which place you are planning it. If it is a college area, if there are 1,000 or 2,000 students and there is no restaurants in that place, starting a restaurant is a good thinking. Suppose if there is no particular, this kind of Xerox shops or, the stationery shops near any schools or colleges, then starting such business is a good plan, because the students has to walk to a far place or something like that. So at that time, this location, even this matters actually. Okay. Then one more is a team. Whenever you start a business, you need a team. Suppose software companies, that's what I tell you, that companies require skilled IT professionals. Skilled IT professionals. Company requires skilled IT professionals. Example, there may be 1,000 students there in one college. In any college, 1,000 students. Companies won't recruit all the thousands. You might have seen that. Maybe 10, 15, 25, 100, 150. Based on their requirements, they hire. But the requirement is maybe for them it is like 2,000 to 3,000 target. But why they don't hire? Because they see the behavior of a person. First thing is behavior. Whenever they hire a person, first thing is a behavior, and then second comes the skills. What skills they have? Whether the students will say that, sir, I don't know anything. Can you train me? Most of the students ask, sir, I don't know anything, can you train me? The question immediately will be asked by the companies, if I have to train, then why have to pay you? And how much time will you take to learn? Students say, I don't know, sir. It may take maybe 5 or 6 months. So 5 or 6 months I have to spend on you, isn't it? So actually there are companies who provide training. Few students are confused with that training. They think training in a sense, again I have to go there and again I have to start from adding 2 numbers, if condition, for loop. It is not that. The training is not that. Training is totally different. Training in the sense they train the company environment, how the product is launched and how to start with the company work. So all this training is provided there. Understood? So that's why whenever you also start a business at that time, you need to set up a team. At that time, you have to identify the skilled IT professionals. Skilled IT professionals, because these kind of professionals and the skilled workers, because of that, your company will grow. Next one, one second. In the marketing and sales, this I already explained you, even the operations. And the final thing is one is the financial management. Financial management, you have to track your expenses always, because see, suppose if you start a business, you will think, I have to pay the rent for that. What is the rent? Maybe 10,000 rupees. That's the rent. The maintenance means light bill, electricity bill and other bills. So again 2,000 or 3,000 rupees. Again, suppose if someone comes to clean the place, suppose 1,000 rupees for them. And the employees, again 3 employees are there, so again 20,000 into 3, 60,000. So calculation of these kind of thing, and how much profit you will earn and how much you will keep for these expenses, these kind of financial management has to be managed. Then how the startups are funded. Now this is the last one, how the startups are funded. See, once once you have a plan, business plan, there are various sources. One is the personal savings. In the sense, whatever I have, the personal savings, maybe 5 lakh or 10 lakh, I will invest with the business. Or me and my partner, we two people, we are starting a business. I invest 10 lakh, my partner is investing 10 lakhs. So 20 lakhs we are starting with it, and after that we will see whether it will grow or not. In case if it doesn't, we will close the business. This may be few plans. Okay, so that is called the personal savings. The second one is the angel investors. They are the individuals who provide funding to startups. In exchange, they ask for the ownership stake in the company. In the sense, they may become the directors. Okay, they may become the directors, and they will say, so I need this much percentages. This I already explained that time. Suppose if it's for the 1 crore, they may ask you for the stake. So that is the stake which the angel investors which they will ask. And one more is the venture capital firms. They are the investment companies that provide funding to startups in exchange for an ownership stake in the company. Venture capital firms often focus on providing funding to startups. They have the potential for higher growth. This is a company funding now. This is a company is coming up and funding. Example, Mahindra or Tata. They will invest on your project now. Maybe 10 crores of investment is being done, and after that, once it grows, they know that your concept is very good, and there is a business growth, and when it comes to 500 crores or 1000 crores, they are the part of that. They have the stake, maybe 40% or 50% stake they will be having, and when it grows now, it becomes a 1000 crore business, even they own 500 crores out of it, suppose if they have a 50%. Okay. Then the crowdfunding. Crowdfunding in the sense, you gather funding from any places. I think you have heard about few short movies which has been done using in crowdfunding. Okay. Suppose if the crowdfunding in the sense, if the total budget is 5 lakh, you don't have money and you don't want investors, but you want the people to pay you. So at that time, this involves raising small amounts of money from a large number of people. This is done typically through an online platform. Startups can use crowdfunding to raise money for specific projects or to fund their entire business. And the best thing in the crowdfunding is sometimes they are not even the partners. You are just funding it. You are just taking the money and you run the business. And it's a very small amount of the money which has been taken from the people. Maybe 100 rupees or 200 rupees. That is a crowdfunding. Or you can assure them, suppose if you pay 100 rupees, we will return you some particular amount once if the company is in good growth. Next one is a bank loans. Bank loans, almost people they know that. So government has a few subsidies, okay? Few subsidies. So based on that subsidy, government gives the loan. Or directly if you go to the bank, they have the particular interest, you have to pay the interest and the bank loan has to be paid. Then the grants is being funded by the government agencies or non-profit agencies. The people who are doing the PhDs, I think the professors and they may be knowing, they get the grants. In MIT Manipal, we get lots of grants actually. Few lakh grants will be provided to work on that particular project. Maybe sometimes the university will provide. University will provide the grants. Sometimes, the government will provide. Sometimes the non-profit organization. These people will provide the funds to you, and in return they don't expect anything. That is they know that this is for the social activities or something like that. So at that time, these people will come further and they will start funding you. So is there any incubation center here? Is that right? Okay. So the incubation center sometimes, see if you have an incubation center, the place or in the infrastructure will be provided by the university or the college itself. Okay. So in that, I think you have to, once the profit, you start earning profit, you have to pay the little amount of that. Even that is the best thing because you don't have more capital to be invested. You have a very less capital investment in that thing. Okay, so this is the end of the slide. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Related to entrepreneurship or the startups or about the funding or about any procedures or the registration things. No, no question. So can I speak about that internship with stipend which I told? Yes. See, also in the company we provide the internship with stipend. Okay. We usually provide for the final years. The thing is, if you have worked on any of the domain, suppose if it is a Flutter or like React or JS or the Node.js, okay, the full stack development, or machine learning AI in this platform, you can show us that demo to us. Okay, means you should have done something. It's not just a mini project you have worked with and you don't have any idea. Not that. You should be involved in that and you have done some project for that. At that time, we have few real-time projects. So you can be a part of the real-time projects and we pay fixed amount for the students. So in that, you don't have to come every day to the office. Weekly once you have to attend, you have to report there. And you can do work from home and we give the deadline times. In the exam times, we can see that we can exclude those timings, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks or something like if whenever you have internals at that time. So other than that, you can work continuously. We are doing this with some other colleges where I explained to the HOD sir regarding this. So in case if you have any talent within this, if you want to work on the real-time projects, you are welcome and I think you can contact sir and after that you can approach me for this. Okay? Yeah, any other questions? Yeah? No, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
We thank Mr. Harish Nirmarga, founder and CEO of Tech Solution, Mangalore, for sharing his experience as a successful entrepreneur and motivating the students. Thank you, sir.